my gosh, hello.
Hello.
Yay, we're recording. Welcome to Sapphic Situations. I'm Shayna.
I'm Ray.
And today, this is our first episode.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Ray?
I'm super excited. Also, I'm a little nervous because I'm like, oh my god.
I know, right?
This is really happening.
It's really happening. This is amazing.
Yeah.
So, in honor of Pride Month and our first episode, we figured that we can just do a coming out episode, or it's called the first gay. Okay, we are all about what happened first for all the first gay people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But, right. So we can start with the icebreaker, which is going to be 2 truths and a lie. Since you guys are just getting to know us, we're going to tell you 2 truths and a lie, and you have to guess. Since you guys can't talk to us directly, we're going to talk to each other. You're going to have to guess. You're going to have to guess which one is the lie.
This will be exciting because it's we're going to be learning something new about each other.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'll go first, I guess. Okay. I'm literally making this up. Okay.
I'm glad you because I can think of mine.
Okay, so one is I used to go to gay parties in Miami. I attended one of the first gay clubs, the first lesbian club in New York City. And I came out when I was 14 years old.
Okay. I'm going to say that maybe your lie is you came out when you're 14 years old.
Right? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I definitely didn't. But more on that later.
Okay, that's exciting though. I definitely want to know more about that.
We're definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you my two truths and a lie.
All right,
so,
I'm ready.
One, I'm a gold star lesbian.
Oh.
2, I used to dress kind of like a switch back in the day.
What do they call that? STEM or androgynous?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my third one is that I have been to 3 lesbian bars.
Dang, this one's hard because I feel like these could all be true. I'm gonna say you're not a gold star lesbian.
No, I'm not.
I almost picked the androgynous one because I'm just like, you do not look like the type. I'm like, Ray is so girly and feminine.
That was the one. I thought that was the one you would pick because it's I'm so
right. I didn't pick the obvious one.
The biggest princess.
You are.
We were taking a picture and everyone's getting down these stairs. I'm just please help me.
Right?
And my friend is you're such a princess. We literally are all femmes. I'm it doesn't matter. My knees are bad. Help me.
You're literally a damsel.
Always in distress.
That is so funny. Okay, so I came out at 22 years old. I have never had a girlfriend. And I liked to play house, and I was daddy. Ain't that funny?
Gold started I was daddy. I'm but I feel you were.
Period.
But were you daddy?
You have to guess.
Yeah, that's
that's the lie?
Yeah, is that the lie?
Yeah, that's the lie. Yeah. Okay. And I mean, technically, I didn't come out 22 years old, but that's when I started to date women. So that's what I consider. Okay, so I'm okay, that's the truth. Mm-hmm. But anyway, your turn.
Okay, so for me, let's see. So I have never used dating apps, lesbian dating apps or anything before.
Okay.
I used to dress like a switch. And I have only dated 2 girls.
I'm gonna say the dating apps is a lie. You use dating apps. Am I right? Okay.
Yeah, you know I have some horror stories from dating apps.
I'm like, I feel like you told me some things. Like, there's no way you met those people in person.
No, I have some dating app horror stories, which I'm excited to tell you and the world. So everyone can feel my pain together.
Next episode. Or maybe not, probably on the next one, but in an episode.
Yeah,
sure.
It'll be like a trauma bonding experience, you know?
Not a trauma bond. So funny. Oh my gosh, speaking of trauma bonding, there's so much. What a segue. But there's so much going on in our community.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of activism. There's a lot of history. And I just wanted to take the time to talk about some of that stuff.
Yeah, there's like so much like activism and stuff, especially like in big cities. So like here in Atlanta, also New York. Like you're from New York, so I'm sure you have your own stories about that too.
Yeah, it's actually super historic to even go to some of the bars and clubs in New York City.
Yeah.
I actually went to one that was like the Stonewall, and it's in New York City in Greenwich Village.
Okay,
I always butcher that name, but it's fine. Right. And it's really cool. Like it really does feel like stepping into a time machine, but it's also still kind of modern.
Yeah.
When I went there, it was really chill. Like there was a pool table, people are talking, laughing, joking, and just to think like only a couple of decades ago, like people were really fighting just for us to be ourselves. It almost feels like you're making history just existing in New York City, going to all of the events and like having community with people. Even like a lot of the history, like Cubby Holes, like the first lesbian bar or lesbian place.
I've heard of it, but I've never been. But it's like definitely been on my list, which is crazy because I've been to New York twice, but I've never been to a gay bar. I'm too gay to not go. Like, what?
Yeah, no, it was a very cool experience. Everyone is so chill and nice there. It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, that's so cool. And it's also crazy that like people think that it like, you know, all of the like us having rights and stuff, that was like a fight that happened so long ago, but it's recent.
Very recent.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is, but we are going to talk about what it is today.
Exactly. So actually, I think that like we both have some like a little bit of like we know a little bit of history about gay rights in our community.
I mean, I wish I knew more, to be honest, but I have a few things.
Yeah, and I feel the same way. It's like I know some, but I wish I knew more. But that's also why we're here, so that we can make sure that we're all like educated and we know. So like not only those in the community, but like allies too. Like everyone can just be like aware of like how this is something that is a fight, but it's an ongoing fight. It's not something that happened in the past. We're still fighting for our rights and for equality. So
I agree.
Yeah. But actually an interesting fact that I like thought it'd be fun to share is, did you know why it's LGBT and Q?
Like the order?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. I don't know. I thought it sounded better that way.
Yeah. So it actually used to be GLBT, and I used to see this like back in Tumblr days. Like I don't know how old. I don't know if you guys
Aging
know
yourself there, right?
Right. I don't know if you guys know what Tumblr is. But, like, I used to see like GLBT on like Tumblr sometimes. I'd be like, oh wow, like this is like funny how sometimes it's GLBT and sometimes it's LGBT.
Yeah.
And I didn't know until recently that it used to be GLBT, but then during the AIDS epidemic, they changed it to LGBT because, you know, when a lot of our, you know, gay brothers were affected by AIDS, they needed, family, which I say with quotes, because, like, a lot of, you know, during that time, we didn't have our actual family, we had our chosen family. We didn't have our blood families, we had our chosen family. So a lot of lesbians stepped in as our like gay brothers' chosen family to take care of them and to be the ones that stayed by them and by their side while they were, you know, struggling and
That's
ill
awesome.
with AIDS. So yeah, that's
actually really good to hear, because I know in modern days sometimes it could feel like a divide, because sometimes people be like, oh, gay boys do this, lesbians do that, and then, you know, trans people do this, and, you know, honestly, if we're all in the same community, why is it that we're having these type of, like, I guess, for lack of better words, diaspora. I know that's like mostly for like geographic places, but it's just kind of like
this animosity between like the groups, even though we're supposed to be a community, but it's like there still is a divide. No, I feel like there is like an unspoken where it's like we know, like us in the community, like we know what's happening, but I feel like other people don't really know.
Yeah,
but there is somewhat of a divide.
There is, and then some people are like, for example, if someone who is popular or a celebrity that's in LGBT and someone who is of that same group don't agree, but like, oh yeah, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay, or I'm not like those gay ones over there, like I'm not that type of lesbian. They're doing too much and all this other stuff, and it's just like, girl, anyway,
right?
Like, if you only knew how much people have fought for anyone to be flamboyant or be anything that they want to be.
Right, exactly. Like it wasn't an easy fight. Like and it's an ongoing fight. Like it's something we still are fighting for rights. Like we hear all the time. I'm sure that like a lot of you listeners can like agree that you've seen it too when you're like scrolling through social media where it's like, oh, these rights are being taken away, where like people like, you know, can't use the bathroom and there's restrictions on that, or even like marriage, and like maybe not here in like the US as much as it used to be, but in other countries as well. There's still like, you know, a lot of restrictions and discrimination against LGBTQ community. Yeah,
I agree. And it's like kind of going back to like the Stonewall riots where they were actually raiding clubs and bars where people would have to even do kind of like a speakeasy type of feel to just hang out with people around their own orientation. And even doing that, they end up getting raided, killed, murdered, all these other things. And, you know, honestly, I feel grateful that we're able to be out here and be whoever we want to be.
Right, exactly. Like I love being in Atlanta and having like pride here and being able to experience that, because so many people had to fight just for us to be able to do this, to be able to go to a lesbian bar and it not be a thing where it's like getting raided and stuff. Like people fought for that, so you know, like, I'm proud.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, speaking of being who you are, now is the time of the podcast where we talk about our own experiences coming out. And I'm going to let you go first.
All right, okay. I love how you so gracefully passed me the torch. Thank you. Okay, so my coming out story. So, like, I always knew that I liked girls, but I didn't fully, like, understand, like, my feelings, right? So, like, there were, like, friends I had where I was like, oh, I really, like being around them. I want to get to know them more. I want to talk to them. Like, I'm excited to hear from them. But I didn't understand that I had a crush on them. I just thought that I was like, oh my god, this like person, I just want them to be my best friend, you know? And then it's like I started getting older and I was like, oh wait, that's a crush. But like when I was younger, even younger than that, like when I was like probably before I was even like 8 or 10 years old, I just like knew I wanted to kiss girls. But I was like, oh, I go to college and that'll be a fun thing. Because I like saw it on TV where like girls go to college, they like kissing girls. I'm like, okay, that's fun. I have that to look forward to. You know, like I just thought it was like a normal thing, and like as I got older, I started learning more about it. But also, I was like raised in a salon. Like my parents are hairstylists, so
that's cool.
Yeah, like gave me a different outlook. So like I didn't know that like being, you know, like part of the LGBTQIA plus community was like a negative thing until I got older. I grew up around gay people. Like when I was like 4 or 5 years old, like my best friend was like this gay man that worked in the salon, and he had like 5 teeth and would like wear high heels with skinny jeans with his shirt flipped to make it to a crop top. Like, you know how we would do that when they were younger? Yeah, so like I was like, okay, hey day. Like that was my friend, you know? And so it wasn't until I was older that I was like, oh wait, like this isn't people don't like this. And I was also homeschooled too, so that also made it so like I didn't know until later that people weren't like so welcoming to people in the community. So then I guess when I was in high school, I like had, you know, like my little like experiences with other girls and other friends where I like kissed girls and like did other things with girls and stuff. But it wasn't until I was in college that I really came out, like, that's when I, like, started dating a girl. When I was in college, even, it was a thing where I would tell people, like, oh, I'm a lesbian, I like girls, and, like, that didn't really, like, help me in my situation that much, because then guys were like, oh, yeah, cool, let's...
Yeah. That must
talk.
be so fun to experience.
Yeah. So, then I started dating a girl, and I ended up, like, I was already, like, I think it was a thing where it was, like, I already knew and was, like, telling people, but I think I didn't, like, fully come out to, like, everyone. And, like, I basically posted a picture of me and my girlfriend at the time kissing on social media when I was, like, 21. No, maybe later than that. I think I was, like, 23. That's when I, like, fully came out. Like, my parents knew already.
Okay.
But, like, that's when I came out to everyone when I was, like, 23. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, at least it was a positive experience, right?
Yeah. Overall, it was positive. Like, I think I had a few people who were like, "Oh, is this like really what you want to do?" Or like, you know, like it's a phase, or you don't think that you're the only one that like looks at people like this. I'm just like, "Oh, so you do too?" Like, tell me more about that.
Yeah, I'm very glad that is a positive experience for you, because for me, I was thinking automatically it was going to be a negative experience because I am Caribbean.
Yeah.
There's the stereotypical thing that Caribbean people are very conservative, and it's not even really a stereotype, it's true. A lot of Caribbean people are very Christian, very conservative, very not LGBTQ friendly in general.
Yeah.
So I never actually officially came out ever. I just showed up one day with a girlfriend to my Jamaican family.
Oh, wait, what? You just like bar? Were they, what the fuck did they do? Were they like, hey, welcome? Did they think that she was a friend, or did they know?
Okay, so that was the thing, like, with Caribbean people, they will sit there and be like...
Is it like, don't ask, don't tell, like the military?
Kind of, like, they would always call her my friend, but they already knew. And then, like, it was obviously, like, they were just kind of side at me, and they would think, oh, this is probably just a phase. Like, but they never were, like, mean or rude to me about it or anything.
Okay, as long as they aren't, like, mean or rude to you or her, like, that's, like, the biggest thing. Okay.
Yeah, and they know if they ever did that, I would never talk to them again. So.
Yeah, no, girl, period. Because it's, like, yeah, it's hard, especially when you have, like, I think, like, for, like, minorities, it's, like, a little... Like, I feel like it's hard for everyone, but I feel like especially, like, when you bring religion into it, because, like, my mom is Christian, and her side of the family is very religious, so that was, like, my, like, thing, but my dad's atheist, so it was, like, I was kind of...
Your mom's Christian, your dad's atheist. That's such an interesting combination.
Yeah, it's, like, a really funny upbringing, like, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, right. That'll be another episode, no, but, yeah, and I think that what also kind of was interesting to me, especially when it comes to coming out, is, like, the stereotypes of different types of lesbians, and I guess that's what we're going to talk about, because that's just what we know the most about, even though I consider myself queer more than a lesbian. I don't know how you identify.
Yeah, I feel like I am more queer. Like, I feel like I am a lesbian, but I'm also, like, I feel like I'm like teetering between, like, I'm like, if there's, like, in, like, the Kinsey scale between, like, like, if you were to, like, put a scale and there's, like, this is lesbian, this is queer, then I'm like, well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because only to, like, you know, include, like, trans people and, like, that type of thing.
Right, exactly.
Right, but I think the stereotype for me is that, you know, being feminine, we don't really look visibly queer.
Right, we're straight passing.
Yeah, so it's just also kind of like navigating that and being like, oh, I'm so interested in, you know, exploring this identity of mine.
Yeah.
But then now all I do is get hit on by guys.
No, but seriously, it's so annoying. And then it's like I was at the gas the other day, and the guy said, "Do you have you got a man?" And I'm like, yeah.
Right. Well, in the words of Megan Thee Stallion, she said, "Yeah, I got a man if I don't like who's asking."
Right. Literally, like always. Like, I always have a man. His name is Mr. Panini. He's at home right now, probably wagging his tail.
Super funny. What are some stereotypes that you think that either apply to you or don't apply to you, or that you've experienced, you know, when you came out or now that you are openly queer? What do you think?
I think that, like, for some reason, and I don't know why, but, like, I think that, like, when you first come out and you have, like, a lot of straight friends, any person who is a lesbian, like, your friends just want to, like, hook you up with, or, like, any person that's bi or like, girls are like, they like girls, you like girls, y'all should date, and you're like,
Like, do you even know my type?
Right. I don't even understand, like, how this works. Like, this isn't, like, a thing where I only date any person who likes girls. Like, just, like, you don't date any person that's, like, straight. You know, like, people think that, you know, it's like, oh, any person. I'm like, dude.
No,
there's like right, exactly. I'm like, I'm sure if you're straight, but if we go to the gas station, you're probably not gonna find like the 5 guys in there that we see attractive or want to date them. Just like how, you know, with us, it's the same. So
yeah, I would agree. Like, I think that's why I have mostly queer friends. I do have people that are, you know, straight or not even queer at all, but most of the time, majority of the time, I hang out with other queer people just because it's just easier.
But I think it's we also like have the, I guess I don't want to say privilege, but it kind of is like the privilege of being in a place and being at a point in our life where we are surrounded by queer people. Like we found our tribe, because I like can also relate to like before when I didn't have my tribe and like me being around all straight people, and it's just like, oh my god, this is so annoying. Like not
annoying right now. No, yeah, I definitely understand what you mean by that. Oh, it's okay. Because I think that's what took me so long to just like embrace who I am, because I wasn't around a lot of people that are like that. And then again, like I said, I'm Caribbean, so it's just like, and then ironically, a lot of queer people that I know are Caribbean. You know what I mean? You just gotta find them.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, you know, I guess it was just because I was a little apprehensive, because it's not that people affect me in a way that I'd just be like, okay, I'm just gonna go back in the closet. It's more so like, who is a safe person? You know what I mean?
Right. You don't know who's safe. So, you're like,
yeah.
It's like you're a secret agent and you're trying to find another secret agent. It's like, are you a Smith?
Right. So I didn't even find that, I would say, until like 24, 25.
Yeah.
In New York City. So it was definitely an experience. I think a stereotype that I've also encountered is that because I am feminine, that I have to be with another masculine woman. Even though, like, that is more my type, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what I want, or, like, that's who I'm going to fall for. Who knows who I'm going to fall for, you know?
Right, exactly. I mean, like, I feel like, yeah, that is also a thing where it's like, I think that people don't see, like when they see 2 masculine women, that's also a thing where it's like, they're like, how the fuck is that gonna work, and stuff like that, where I'm like, first of all, mind your business.
Right. Yeah, some people are totally against stud for stud.
Yeah, and it's like weird how it's like why is it that like people are like, but they're cool with femme for femme, but with like stud for stud, I'm like, why are y'all mad? Are y'all okay? Like,
you know what it is? I think they like to sell the fantasy. So if someone, and it's also just that heteronormative stereotype too.
I think it's like, I think that it's feminine and masculine fits to the heteronormative, feminine and with the femme. That's like, you know, every boy's fantasy.
And every girl's. Everybody's fantasy is a femme for femme.
Yeah, but I think that stud is just like a different one.
Yeah, they're like, because they don't see 2 guys as sexy unless you're another guy that likes guys.
Or unless you're a lesbian, then like you find that sexy too.
Right. Right. I'm like, is this confession? Is this a kinky episode?
The conversations for another day.
Right. No, yeah, but so I feel like almost every day is kind of a coming out. Like I feel like it never ends. Like you think, just because you tell everyone that you are queer and gay, that you'll never have to do it again. And I don't think that's necessarily true.
It's so hard, especially like when you have a job and you like work in corporate, when people are like, oh, you're like, so how's things with you? Like, are you dating anyone?
Right.
Like,
oh my God. Are you out at work?
So, like, I am, but not, because I haven't dated anyone since I've been at this company. Like, at my last company, everyone knew because I was dating someone at this company that I'm at. Like, people don't really know because I'm not dating anyone. So, it's like, what am I saying to them that would, like, I don't have anything to say. Like, hey, I went on a date. Like, I'm not going to tell you guys that. Like, that's weird. Yeah. I want to tell you guys about my dating life. Like, but
that makes sense. I am not. But it's only because, like you said, I'm not dating anyone right now. Yeah. And so it's just kind of like, why would I plaster that on my face? Because also another stereotype I think is like people become intrigued about something that is just totally just, to me, normal and like not worth all of the hoopla.
No, but seriously, it's like when I remember back when I was a server and I would like tell people that I had a girlfriend, they would always want to see a picture of her.
Always.
And I'm like, no, why? So you should fantasize about the two of us? Like, you fucking creep.
Right, or like ask a million questions. Oh, so like you and your girlfriend, like what do you guys, it's just like, why do you want to know?
Why is it that everyone always wants to know, like, how do you do it? And I'm just like,
oh my god, yeah, that's
the same way you do.
Or it's just like,
how do you do it?
Yeah. Why? Like, what is the purpose of this question right now?
Yeah, when they like ask like who's the guy in your relationship, I'm like, I mean, obviously, like I'm sure you can tell, but like, who's the guy in your relationship when it's like a heterosexual person? They're like, they get upset.
Right. So like for me, it's not more so of like, oh, I'm hiding it. It's more so just like mind your business. Like, right. It's not a secret, but is private for me.
It becomes sexualized for like us in a way that it doesn't for heterosexual people. Mm-hmm. And this also is like becomes a thing where it's like then people like hyper focus on it. So like you have this like one creep that you work with. Whereas like I had bad experiences at my last company where I like had people where they would like come up and say shit to me.
Oh my god.
And like where they would be like, oh, why is you have a pride flag on like your like phone right now? And I'm just like, why are you even talking to me? Don't you have dishes to wash? Like,
oh my god. No, yeah, that exactly is what happened to me too when I was a server. Because everyone always tried to like flirt with me and all this other stuff. And I didn't even tell them, anything about that. And then it was because they looked me up on social media. And then so they see me and my girlfriend at the time, and they're just like, "Oh, we didn't know that you were in a relationship." I'm just like, "Why are you looking me up? That's so weird."
That's why you blocked them before they. I
didn't even do it.
I find them first. Oh, you can't find me. None of you guys can find me. So weird. Like,
yeah, and it was
I found
crazy.
you.
Yeah, and then so like ever since then, and I think one of my managers, she's masculine, so I guess it's kind of obvious she is, part of the community, but I don't think she knew that I was. And then after that, she started to invite me to stuff. And
that's actually kind of cool, though.
Yeah. I didn't end up going because I don't know. I have a thing about being friends with coworkers. I would go with her now that we're no longer coworkers.
Sometimes it's like weird when you're like, do I want to...
Yeah, and then she was my manager too, so I felt like it was a power dynamic going on. If we were, I don't know, at equal levels, I think I probably would have.
No, I get that too. It's like sometimes I have people at work where they're like above me and they're like, especially like when the guys ask me to do something, no, I'm not hanging out with any of you outside of work. I will never, unless someone else is there, like I will never be alone with you ever, because like Daddy didn't raise no fucking fool, okay? Like, no. So you can say what? No.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not gonna get me. I'm not gonna be Boo Boo the fool. And then next thing you know, I can't even be comfortable at work.
Right.
Because now something happened.
Yeah, because then people want to try and be like, oh, so I heard you two were hanging out.
Right.
Like, absolutely
oh my God.
No, it will not happen. We will not hang out. Not one-on-one. We will only have supervised hangouts outside of work. And even then, like...
Mm-hmm.
Really do it.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, this was so fun. I really enjoyed your coming out story as well as mine. But I wonder if anyone else have any interesting coming out stories.
Yeah, you guys should definitely like send us an email or like a DM, like like a little pigeon, like.
Well, what is our email?
Okay, send us an email at SapphicSituationsPod@gmail.com. And tell us your coming out stories, because we want to like hear it. We want to laugh. We want the funnies. We want all of that. So like,
yeah. Or you could also ask us a question and we'll answer it.
Yeah.
Right here on the podcast.
Yeah. If you guys have a question, if you guys are struggling with something, and you're like, hey, because we know how lonely it can be when you're like first coming out, when you're finding your tribe and all of that. So like, if you have a question, send us a little email, send us a DM. Ask us. Or
if you have any ideas for episodes that you want to see or hear, you could also email us that.
Yeah, would love to just hear from you guys. Just tell us little things.
All right. Well, thanks for listening and tuning in. You could obviously watch this on YouTube, as well as where are we uploading this?
Spotify.
You could actually find us on Instagram at SapphicSituationsPod. And what is our email?
Our email is SapphicSituationsPod@gmail.com. All right, guys. Make sure you guys go get some water, drink some... right, guys. Make sure you guys go get some fresh air, drink some water, get some sunshine, and go be your best gay self.
Be who you are for your pride.
All right, bye, guys.
So chaotic. It's so funny.